everyone, and welcome back to another 5-minute build showcase, today featuring Nezarec Sin and Graviton Lance. This build is all about generating supers insanely fast and creating huge void explosions to clear countless adds, while at the same time constantly regenerating health with Devour, being completely unkillable. So, kicking off the build is the Cataclysmic Nova Bomb, acting as a burst super to allow us to clear groups of adds or deal huge damage to a boss at a consistent rate, since this Nova Bomb will seek targets and break apart to create more explosive damage. I'll be running a Healing Rift, which I really need since I'm stupid, and the Axiom Bolt Grenade for its add clearing potential and void explosions. You can use any grenade you want, but the Axiom Bolt is the one I've found to have the best cohesion with the build. Our first aspect is Feed the Void, where defeating a target with a Void ability will activate Devour. While Devour is active, Final Blows will regenerate health and reset the effects of Devour back to 15 seconds, meaning as long as we get kills with our grenade, melee or super, we will heal up and become essentially unkillable in most activities. The second aspect for this build is Child of the Old Gods, causing a rift to spawn a Void Soul. When damaging enemies with your weapon, the Void Soul will drain enemies, dealing damage, which recharges your grenade and melee energy while running Healing Rift. Defeating enemies targeted by the Void Soul will also regenerate class ability energy, giving this aspect its own little loop. With these aspects, we have 4 fragments to choose from, first of which is Echo of Expulsion, causing Void ability Final Blows to make targets explode with Void energy. Our second fragment is Echo of Instability, where defeating targets with a grenade grants volatile rounds to Void weapons, causing a buildup of Void energy in enemies, followed by a Void explosion. This is going to pair with our main weapon for the build, Graviton Lance. By getting kills with this weapon, we are essentially going to be creating double Void explosions, allowing us to clear groups of enemies with ease. The other 2 weapons are really up to you. A Void Heavy would work well with the build, but just use whatever you're comfortable with, or whatever weapons are needed to defeat champions in higher tier content. Our third fragment is Echo of Exchange, where melee Final Blows grant grenade energy, and this is important because we want as much grenade uptime as possible to create our Void explosions, grant volatile rounds to weapons, and generate super energy with our mods. And the final fragment in the build is Echo of Persistence, increasing the duration of our Devour buff to help us stay alive longer. So, we've covered how to create our Void explosions and how to keep consistently regenerating health with Devour, but we still need to generate insane amounts of super energy. This is where our exotic comes in, Nezarec Sin, with its Abyssal Extractors perk. Void kills grant Abyssal for 2.5 seconds, stacking and maxing out to 20 seconds. While Abyssal is active, you gain 300% additional grenade and melee regen, and 200% additional class and super ability regen. Imagining that we keep this active all the time, which is extremely possible, we are going from a super with an 8-minute cooldown to a 2.5-minute cooldown, but I'm going to be bringing this down even further with our mods. The build is going to be running Elemental Well mods, since these are extremely easy to acquire and will give us superior benefits to any Charge of Light mod combo. To acquire our Elemental Wells, we are running Elemental Armaments and Ordnance, spawning Elemental Wells on Grenade and Void Weapon Final Blows, paired with Bountiful Wells to double the amount of wells gained. These Elemental Wells are going to activate 2 other mods, Font of Might, granting a 25% damage increase to Void weapons on well pickup for 10 seconds, and Font of Wisdom, maxing out intellect to tier 10 for 30 seconds, resetting every time we pick up a new well. Keeping our intellect to tier 10 with this will be easy and will decrease our super cooldown rate even further, granting a super every minute 45 when paired with Abyssal Extractors, but we're still not done. For our minor mods, I've decided to run 2 slots of Ashes to Assets, granting super energy on Grenade Final Blows, and this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to have a consistent flow of ad clearing grenades. With all these effects working together, you can expect to have a Nova Bomb ready to throw out every 45 seconds in most activities, and that is just absolute insanity. For the rest of the mods in this build, I'm running Grenade Kickstart, 2 slots of Bomber mods, and Innovation to reduce our grenade cooldown even further, some resistance mods on our chest armor, and a recuperation mod for health regen on all pickup, and then any champion mods you may need for specific activities. When it comes to what you should prioritize for stat tiers, you can completely ignore intellect, since we'll be maxing out to tier 10 almost all the time with Font of Wisdom, but you do want to invest into 100 discipline for reduced grenade cooldown and either 100 resistance or recovery. This build really is one of the best in the game right now in my opinion, granting amazing survivability, even for endgame content with Devour, a great ability rotation giving us grenades to use all the time. We can get a great burst super insanely fast to clear large amounts of ads or deal high boss DPS, and the best part is we can light up the screen with huge void explosions which just looks badass. If you enjoyed this build showcase, please consider giving the video a like and subscribe to the channel for Destiny builds every week. Don't forget to check out the playlist in the description to see my other builds on all 3 classes, and I will see you in the next one.